All local, all morning. You're watching Fox 61 Morning News.
Now at 6, it is a chilly start to the day and snow is in the forecast this evening. The cold weather protocol is in effect this morning. We have more on what you need to know if you need to find a warm place to go.
Yeah, that is correct. And meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli and Fox 61's Priscilla Meza will have the details just ahead. And speaking of, Rachel, you're right there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that cold weather
like
out
that.
there. Yeah. Boom,
Ask
TV
and
magic.
you shall receive. And yeah, today is going to be a cold one overall. I think towards the evening, though, that's when the snow is going to develop. And it's going to come down pretty steady, mainly after about 5 or 6 o'clock this evening. So we have this weather impact alert for that reason. Not only is it cold outside, but again, we have that tricky travel that is likely overnight tonight and into first thing tomorrow. And there will likely be some snow removal needed across parts of the state, where you can see here a lot of us will be picking up anywhere from 5 inches of snow or a little bit more. So noticing in western Connecticut, that's where we think the highest snow totals are going to be, up towards about 10 inches of snow. I think in southeastern Connecticut, or rather southwestern Connecticut, a better opportunity. 4 to 6 inches of snow for most of central Connecticut, and then also looking at 2 to 4 inches across parts of eastern areas. Either way, we do have various winter weather advisories or a winter storm warning across parts of the state. Snow is developing tonight. Satellite and radar picture now quiet. We have some clouds that are going to start to stream in, and this is tied to this system here. This drops in for tonight, bringing us our snow for tonight. Temperature is 11 degrees right now in Torrington, 14 in Waterbury, 20 degrees in New Haven. Most of the day, though, is dry, but it is going to be cold. So temperatures around 22 degrees at noontime by 5 o'clock, or around 26, and that's when the snow begins to develop in western Connecticut first. So here's noontime, dry, just cold. Then by 3 o'clock, it's still dry and cold, but here's 6, where the snow begins to develop in western Connecticut. Eventually, it overspreads the state with the steadiest snow becoming widespread around 8 and 9 o'clock. It continues into the overnight hours before it begins to taper to more scattered snow showers for Saturday morning before things wind down. Temperatures today around 27 in Hamden. That's it. 26 in Hartford, southeastern Connecticut, in the mid to upper 20s as well. We'll talk about where we go from here. Your full 7-day forecast plus your weekend forecast just around 15 minutes away. Here at 6:02, we are quiet across the state. It looks pretty good. If you're heading out right now, roads are dry and the volume is rather light. So right now over in Waterbury, 84 east and westbound, that looks fine, as well as over in Hartford, 84 as you're traveling into downtown. We're looking at New Haven now on 95. That looks pretty good. You can see the bridge off in the distance. And then over in Fairfield, 95, both in Fairfield, looks okay this morning too, with volume that remains light. Symphony.
Great, thanks, Rachel. As dangerously cold air settles across Connecticut, the state's severe cold weather protocol remains in effect, and more cities are opening up warming centers. Fox 61's Priscilla Meza joins us live this morning. Now, Priscilla, what resources are available right now for people trying to stay safe and warm out there?
Hi, good morning, Symphony. Well, there are several resources available for those who need help. I was just at the downtown Hartford Library, and now I am at the library, the Park Street Library at the Lyric. And, you know, these are 2 of several of the daytime warming centers provided by the city. There are several more throughout Hartford. And this is a statewide response to extreme cold, and communities across Connecticut are stepping in to make sure that those who are most vulnerable right now are protected. Governor Ned Lamont activated Connecticut's severe cold weather protocol starting Christmas Day at 5 p.m. and it remains in effect through Sunday morning. And during this time, the state is coordinating with United Way 211, local shelters, and municipalities to make sure anyone who needs a warm place to stay can get one, including transportation if needed. Cities across the state are opening warming centers. In Hartford, as I mentioned, libraries and overnight shelters are available. In Middletown, the city has also activated its warming center at 184 High Street, with hours adjusting morning and evening through the weekend. People who live in Middletown can also go to the police station lobby, which is open 24/7, along with the Russell Library and St. Vincent de Paul Soup Kitchen during scheduled hours. Health officials are also reminding people about the dangers of frostbite and hypothermia, especially during prolonged exposure outdoors. Frostbite commonly affects fingers, toes, ears, and the face, while hypothermia can cause shivering, confusion, slurred speech, speech and extreme fatigue and can be life-threatening if not treated quickly. Officials are urging people to limit their time outdoors. Make sure you layer up and check in on those who may not have heat right now and make sure they are okay. Check in with them. And if you or someone you know needs a warm place to stay, make sure to call 211, and that is the fastest way to find a location near you. We'll have much more in the next 30 minutes. For now, live in Hartford, Priscilla Meza, Fox 61.
Alrighty, thank you, Priscilla. We'll check back in with you later on this morning. Now, we do have some tips this morning from officials on how to safely use your space heaters. If you use one, make sure you turn it on carefully. Put the space heater on a flat surface so it can't be knocked over. And you should use a heater with safety features like an automatic shutoff switch. Also, make sure you keep your children and pets away from the space heater and always plug it directly into a wall outlet.
Developing this morning, a child and 2 teens are among 4 people who had to be removed from a car that was involved in a crash last night in Hartford. It happened on Cornwall Street, and police confirmed that the crash was fatal. However, they did not release any other details. A spokesperson from the Hartford Fire Department says additional life support resources were requested to the scene. An investigation into what happened is now underway, and we will update you as we learn more.
Yesterday, emergency crews responded to a 2-vehicle crash at Ellington Road and 4 Corners in South Windsor. Police say a passenger van and an SUV collided, which caused the SUV to roll a few times before it came to a stop on its side. The driver of the SUV was able to get out on their own and suffered only minor injuries.
Well, several people were left without a home on Christmas morning after a fire in Norwich. This is what the 3-family home looked like yesterday afternoon on Platte Avenue. The fire impacted multiple floors, and the good news is that everyone inside was able to get out safely and was accounted for. The Red Cross is now assisting the 2 families who were displaced, and the cause of the fire is currently under investigation.
A woodshed fire broke out yesterday afternoon at a home in Putnam. Crews responded to the scene just after 1 p.m., and this is what they found: that woodshed burning near some stacked wood out there. Firefighters spent about 2 hours putting out hot spots. No one was hurt, and damage was limited to the woodshed. The fire is under investigation. 6:07 now. City leaders in New Britain plan to create a memorial to honor little Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. If you recall, the 11-year-old's body was found behind an abandoned home on Clark Street back in October.
Yeah, next month, the crew will begin construction on Memorial, and Fox 61 Celine Arif has the details on what it will look like.
This year, people came from all over the state to pay their respects here at the memorial on Clark Street, where Mimi's body was found. But with the memorial on private property, New Britain's mayor says it's time to honor Mimi somewhere more permanent. New Britain Mayor Bobby Sanchez says the goal is to create something beautiful from one of the darkest chapters in the city's history. He's working with Mimi's father and grandparents to create the memorial, which will get added to the newest edition of Willow Street Park. One of the park's benches will be saved for Mimi, where the family will add a plaque and plotted flowers on each side. Sanchez says they already have an idea of what they want the memorial to look like.
Specifically asked about blue hearts because I guess they want Mimi, was something that Mimi loved. And I told them that, you know, on the planters, they can design the planters the way they want. And the plaque can go right on the bench. And it would be nice to see a nice plaque with her picture on it.
Sanchez says he hopes the park's new addition will be opened by the end of the summer. In New Britain, Celine Arif, Fox 61.
Speed cameras are ready to go in Beacon Falls. The 30-day warning period began Wednesday. Here's how it works. If you go more than 10 miles per hour over the speed limit on South Main Street, you'll get a warning in the mail for now. Police will issue fines starting January 23rd. After that, you will be charged $50 plus a processing fee. Repeat offenses will cost you $75 plus that processing fee. Now, if you live in Southington and you registered your vehicle before October 1st, the town manager says the supplemental vehicle tax bills mailed out earlier this week includes an incorrect mill rate. Officials say you can ignore this bill. Correct ones will be mailed out next week, so you want to make sure you hold off on paying that bill to avoid issues. Now, they say this all happened because of the statewide statutory mill rate cap on cars.
Governor Ned Lamont and his counterparts wrote a letter to the federal government demanding that work resumes on the Revolution Wind project. They want to know about the national security reasons that led to the Trump administration freezing the project. And they also are accusing the administration of delaying the projects just to appease the president's opposition to wind projects. Well, a boil water advisory is now in effect in part of Danbury after a water main break on Christmas Eve. The break was located by crews on Sandpit Road. Once the break is fixed, water samples will be collected. It will then take about 24 hours to confirm if the water is safe to drink again. And the last update from the city came in just after 4:30 a.m. on Thursday.
All right, today many folks will have plenty to throw away, but you may be asking yourself what can and cannot be recycled. Let's break it down for you this morning. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, the average household produces up to 25% more waste between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day, adding up to nearly 25 million tons of extra trash. Experts say knowing what belongs in the recycling bin, that is, and what doesn't is key.
We can recycle packages that are made out of cardboard and paper, but the one thing we can't recycle are things that are generally glittery and made out of metal products.
He also says this includes anything foil-based, like wrapping paper, bows, or bags, and says don't forget to properly dispose of batteries from your electronics.